Everyone knows Punxsutawney Phil and his weather predictions. But have you heard of the psychic animals who've taken a successful crack at politics? From swine to sharks, these 5 creatures didn't just throw their hats in the ring, they threw in some uncanny predictions for the next president of the United States. Let's dive into the quirky tales of these animal oracles and how they eerily predicted the winners of U.S. elections. In the quaint town of Scott, Arizona, there's a fall tradition that's unlike any other. A swine race at the Scott Pumpkin Patch where prize pigs don't just waddle, they race for glory. But in 2016, this race wasn't just about speed, it was a portent of political tides. Each pig represented a presidential candidate, with one swine stepping in for Donald Trump and another for Hillary Clinton. While the polls pointed one way, the pigs told a different story. In a surprising turn of events, Trump's pig dashed ahead, clinching the win in a clear lead. If only voters had listened to the pork predictors, they might have anticipated what was to come in the November elections. Next up in our parade of political prophets, we have a tale of bears versus squirrels, which might just make you question the intellectual prowess of our furry friends. In a curious twist of fate, while squirrels in South Carolina were busy stocking up acorns for Trump, bears in Russia threw their weight behind Biden. Yes, you heard that right. A bear and a squirrel stepping into the political arena. Imagine a chilly autumn morning and the news breaks. A Siberian bear declares its support, not for local fauna, but for Joe Biden as the future U.S. president. Meanwhile, back in South Carolina, the squirrels, perhaps less in tune with geopolitical nuances or just nuts about Trump, saw a second term for him. It's enough to make you wonder if maybe squirrels should stick to tree politics. Psychic abilities or not, our animal friends never fail to add a sprinkle of unexpected whimsy to our human affairs. Whether it's a tale of squirrels with questionable political insights or bears with a keen nose for presidential winners, it's clear that sometimes nature has its own way of joining in on our human debates. And if history has shown us anything, it's that sometimes the animal kingdom might be onto something. The Great Shark Race of 2016. You might recall a certain social media phenomenon that swept the feeds. Sharks for Trump. Yes, it's as wild as it sounds. In the heart of election season, Nova Southeastern University hosted its first ever shark race to the White House, and it was huge. The participants? None other than a couple of Mako sharks, aptly named Trump Shark and Clinton Shark. As the race heated up, these aquatic competitors swam mile after mile, with Trump Shark ultimately clinching the victory by swimming 652.44 miles, compared to Clinton Shark's 510.07 miles. This unique race was not just a whimsical way to engage with the election season, but also a spotlight on the serious research being conducted at Nova Southeastern University. Dr. Mahmoud Shivji, leading the research, emphasized that while the sharks race was a fun aspect of the election, it also highlighted important behaviors of Mako sharks in the Atlantic Ocean. From logging over 10,000 miles to showcasing different migration patterns, these sharks are teaching us incredible lessons about marine life. Despite the playful undertone of the race, the message remains poignant. Every year, sharks are being killed off in numbers ranging from 70 to 100 million, a grim figure for creatures that reproduce at such low rates. The ongoing research at NSU aims to shine a light on these issues, ensuring that these majestic creatures don't vanish from our oceans. This race might have been lighthearted, but the attention it brought to NSU's mission to understand and preserve marine life is anything but. In the frosty expanse of Krasnoyarsk, Siberia, a zoo has turned into an unlikely battleground for presidential predictions, with the animal kingdom taking a swing at political forecasting. First up, we have Khan, a white Bengal tiger with a knack for politics. In 2020, faced with 2 watermelons, one carved with Biden's face and the other with Trump's, Khan didn't hesitate. He snubbed Trump's melon and joyously rolled around with Biden's, signaling a blue win in his own tigerish way. Rewind to 2016, and it was a polar bear from the same zoo making the headlines. Presented with similar melon choices, Trump versus Clinton, the polar bear chose Trump's, predicting his win accurately. This series of events has crowned the zoo a true breeding ground for psychic animals, each election season turning these creatures into furry forecasters. Whether it's Khan's playful endorsement of Biden or the polar bear's earlier presidential pick, these animals seem to have a peculiar pulse on American politics. Critics might chuckle at the notion of animal oracles, but in Krasnoyarsk, the tradition of election melons continues to amuse and bemuse viewers worldwide. Remember, while all watermelons were the same, the choices made were uniquely their own, turning this Siberian zoo into an unexpected player in the Game of Thrones. And there you have it. 5 incredible tales of animal oracles that have dipped their paws, fins, and claws into the realm of U.S. presidential elections. Whether these predictions are mere coincidences or a peek into nature's mysterious ways, one thing is certain: they provide a playful and lighthearted twist to the often serious business of politics. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more quirky stories from the corners of the earth. Comment your pet's prediction for the outcome of the next election below.